Yo, it's Mel from Rap Rankings. To hear the full episode this clip comes from and all the other episodes, stop by raprankings.com or search Rap Rankings on your favorite podcast platform.
Track 15, Squalie, featuring J.R. Writer, produced by the Hitmakers.
Wait, the Hitmakers or the Heatmakers?
What did I say? Did I say the Hitmakers? Well, they are Hitmakers, aren't they? Are they
so.
not? Did they make hits? Just
they didn't
Heat?
really make them. They didn't make that much hits.
Sorry, produced by the Heatmakers. Flat 6.
Well, we know about you. You're not from New York. This is very explanationally why we can break that down. I give it a 7+, real New Yorker rating for this one. Give me a soft pretzel and a hot dough.
Okay, now you're out of line. Hot dough and a pretzel. Pretzel, sure, absolutely, but hot dough. Oh God. Yeah. Look, the beat's just not doing that much for me. That's my only problem. It's my only problem with the record.
Well, that would honestly not shock me because we know about you. But this is a good beat. My only issue with the beat is this is a very overused sample.
Nothing came to mind for me. What's the sample?
You don't listen to rap albums, so I'm not surprised.
You keep telling these people these things and they're lies, but they're gonna believe you. You know. Well,
actually, when did the Joe Budden Def Jam album come out? His debut album.
Joe Budden, Wikipedia, discography, 2003.
What
June
date
10th
came out before this?
I guess.
So by the time I heard this album, I had already purchased the Joe Budden album and heard. Can you pull up "She Wanna Know" or "I Wanna Know"? I don't remember the name of it. I think it's with Little Mo. Am I crazy? Is it not Little Mo?
I mean, you are crazy, but
I Wanna Know, She Wanna Know, something like that.
She Wanna Know.
Play that.
Okay.
But this sample's been used like dozens of times in hip hop.
Okay. Wait a minute. Okay, here we go.
That's it, yeah.
Just Joe Budden staring back at me is cracking me up. Joe Budden, y'all.
Yeah, so it's an overused sample, but that Squalie, that's New York, man. That's Harlem. So I'm not surprised you're not a big fan of it because that's not relevant.
Well, I'll play the drop on your behalf for me.
For idiots like him who do not know hip-hop.
I want to talk about J.R. Writer a little bit since he's on this song. I don't know the next time we're going to talk about him.
I'm glad because I think he got off on here.
He had a great verse. He was doing a string of great verses around this time. And I'd say like a year or two after this as well.
Uh-huh.
And J.R. Writer is another guy kind of like Papoose, who was pegged as one of the great hopes of New York in terms of lyricism.
Okay.
And I just don't think it really panned out outside of the mixtape scene.
Yeah, I've heard his name plenty of times, but he seems to just be one of those guys who never.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the class of your Papooses, your Saigons, guys that were pegged as maybe going to be. Maybe Red Cafe is just a teensy bit after those guys, but in terms of just even Paul Kane, guys that people had their eyes on from the tri-state area that they were pegging for maybe they were going to be the next 50 Cent. They were going to be the next big New York rapper. Maybe they were going to be the best lyricist in New York since Jay. You know, something like that.
Well, R.I.P. to J.R. Ryder. I mean, he's not dead, right? Just his potential died.
Well, last he popped up, Mel, was he put out a mixtape a few years ago at the height of, Lil Yachty, Young Thug, that wave of rappers. And the album covers like him in a movie theater with all of them. For some reason, Danny Brown's on the cover too.
I remember that. That was him?
Like, yeah, and he's like sitting there and he's like just got on like, Forces and like a fitted, New York fitted, and he's looking around like at all the weirdos in rap. And he's like weirded out by this theater of eccentric, colorful characters in skinny jeans. And his crusade was like going against the mumble rappers and kind of bringing lyricism back to the forefront. Kind of a fool's errand in the mid 2010s, honestly. Mid to late 2010s.
I'd say so.
But he does well here, despite the overused sample. I like it. I like the energy on the chorus. That Squalie. Juelz is good. Look, Mel, you ain't get it. You ain't live it.
I don't like the beat.
Oh, you don't? You just don't like the beat?
Yeah, that's what I said. That's my only problem. And according to you, that should be fine because it's overused anyway.
Do you like the sample? Or not? So, like, when you heard that Joe Budden, where you're like, "Oh, this sounds good," or you're like, "I don't like the sound of this either."
I might just not like the sample at all. So,
well, you'll be hearing it in the next couple years again. I'm sure of it. It's one of those samples that it's like, I know this thing's been sampled like 7, 8, 9 times. Like, why do it again?
Yeah, I don't know. It was fresh to me, I think.
I mean, really, the way that you're supposed to do it is if you find out an artist sampled something from an album, you're supposed to look on that album for what else might be available to sample, not sample the same fucking song. Come on.
That's what you're supposed to do.
The same part. Well, I don't know about you, Mel, but back when albums would be released, I'd go through the credits, look at the samples, and then find those albums and see if there were any other samples on them.
My assumption would be like that they already probably went through the whole album and that was the best thing they found.
Nah, they don't know. That's the thing. The problem is that we know about them.
Now we know about them. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, listen.
They make beats like this. You don't like this beat.
I don't like this beat.
There's got to be a better sample on that album.
They're rapping just fine.
Yeah, they're rapping. The rapping is good. I'm surprised you didn't like this one. But we found out you just don't like soulful beats.
It's so false. I am confused by Baby Girl. I drag my nuts for free. I'm like, does it cost money to drag?
See, you're not from New York, bro. See, when back in New York,
no, you can't New York me there. You have to admit that line doesn't make any sense.
No, he's talking about the nuts for nuts, which you got to look up. They were great. They're like honey roasted nuts. They come in these little white baggies. They twist up the baggies, and he's talking about dragging those nuts.
I'm not,
because they're the most delicious nuts in the city. The nuts for nuts. I don't know about that nuts for nuts. You can get nuts for nuts delivered to you, though. And you can heat them up at home.
I got sad at sometimes I can't believe my niggas. Still in awe, I give it all just to feed my niggas. Eat, don't stop, homie, breathe, my niggas. I need y'all more than y'all ever need me, my niggas. Listen, sometimes I can't believe my niggas is very true. Yeah, the Squalie...
Not true enough for you to like a vomit blowjob more than this.
It was more entertaining. Better beat. He said, Mel, it didn't have a beat. I'm like, yeah, that made it better. This is for all my niggas on the block that's pumping. I think the cops is coming. Squalie. I'm like, yeah, that's when my dad was about to use my laptop. Somebody should have yelled out Squalie so I could have cleared the history, but it was too late. Also,
it's soulful.
Soulful. Get out of here with this soulful. All right, we don't need no souls. Okay, we need to address these raps that are good but are confusing. Like, we live in the life of Loca Vida, Coke and Chiba, drive by, blow smoke on the policia. But then later on, it's like, tired of running from Squalie, ducking from Squalie. Shit, we ain't do nothing to Squalie. I'm like, well, you blew smoke on them. They could probably twist that into assault, you know? Plus, it's probably weed possession. This is back in 2003, so they were stricter about that. Like, you know, this isn't me caping for Squalie. I'm just saying.
No, you are Squalie.
I'm not Squalie.
We know
I know Squalie. That's a difference. Yeah, squirt pipe set bastards. Y'all can't fuck with me. Oh yeah, I'm glad I brought this in. And yeah, J.R. Ryder got off. He was rapping. Okay, and but I hate to hear that he's just turned into an anti mumble rapper purist man.
What? Oh, so, by the way, what do cops say when they watch wrestling? I'm sorry. What does Squalie say when they watch wrestling?
That was a Squalie match?
Nope. They say Wale because Wale does Big E's entrance music now.
That was terrible. That was terrible. Yeah, look, this song just needed a liver beat, and I could have gave it the 7. Yeah.
What do you want? Quasimodo crime ass beat for this song?
I don't like that song. That was a 6. That wouldn't help.
Today you gotta stay on your toes. Oh no, that's Civilizations.
No, that's Civilization Day, man.
I'm done with that album. I'm never gonna listen to it again now because I did it on the show. When I do these shows, after I listen to the album, I'm like the Undertaker. I say rest in peace, and I take those albums and I bury them, and I never hear from them again. I don't care if you're a classic or a trash chick. Yeah, that's where this Juelz album's going in about an hour.
Okay, well, you want to move it along?
Yeah.
All right. Track 16, Raindrops, produced by Charlemagne.
Now I'm like thrilled with the mental image that I had of like Paul Bearer receiving these albums in the afterlife as we're finished with them one by one. Oh yes, Juelz Santana. Oh yes. And then he hears Jealousy and he goes, oh no.
Oh man, I love it. That was a great image. What are we doing? What is this?
Yo, it's Mel from Rap Rankings. To hear the full episode this clip comes from and all the other episodes, stop by raprankings.com or search Rap Rankings on your favorite podcast platform.